For many years, the Holyoke Public Schools has been the epicenter of the school-to-prison pipeline in Massachusetts. In 2015, a group of students and adult allies joined forces to say enough is enough. Since then, Palante has successfully carved out a youth-led transformative program in our school.
A lot of people ask us how we're able to work to try to transform the system when we're so much a part of it. We have to walk a very thin line of trying to build strong relationships with folks that we may have major philosophical differences with. And sometimes, honestly, that results in us feeling complicit in systems that we know are harming students. At the same time, we think it's strategic to be based in the school. We're able to see kind of both the challenges and also the opportunities and openings for changing things.
The students are here every day experiencing these various types of injustice, being surveyed in the school, being treated differently by their teachers. One of the things that Palante seeks to do is to address that from within the very setting where students are located on the day-to-day.
So Palante emerged in a context where school pushout was really the norm in Holyoke at that time. Students were regularly suspended for very small infractions like being late to school a certain number of times, you get a suspension. So when we started Palante, we knew we wanted to support students with their personal and interpersonal challenges, but we also knew that that wouldn't be enough. We knew that we had to get down to the systemic oppression that was at the root of a lot of these issues they were dealing with. So after 2 years of research and study, we inducted the first 15 student peer leaders into the program.
Palante stands out as one of the only restorative justice programs that is truly youth-led in the country.
What I like most about the program is the fact that it's really student-led and student-driven. So the values of the program aren't something that is from the top down, like adults telling young people that this is the program, these are the values, this is the work we should be doing, but like from the bottom up, the students themselves, based on personal experiences with the school system, with teachers, with educators, turning that frustration into energy in a program that has now made a really substantial difference in the way that issues and conflicts are handled.
We really believe in young people making decisions and young people being at the forefront of our movements, but we also believe in this intergenerational connection. We don't believe that there should be an absence of adult presence, that actually young people flourish the most when they have love, guidance, and support. We really try to build those youth-adult partnerships to help young people lead and dream and create the world of their imaginings.
Another secret to our success is that we really try to build in structures into our program that support their leadership at every level. So there's always another opportunity to grow and develop as a leader.
As Palante peer leaders, we use circle practice to support our school community.
A lot of people are surprised when they hear that young people are the ones who actually host our circles. A lot of schools have someone like me who work in them and is the person who leads every restorative justice process, but in our program, everything is led by young people. So my job is really just to support the students to host. And there's a couple different ways we prepare young people to do that kind of intense conflict work with other young people. We have a week-long institute where we do political education and a lot of circle practice training. And then we do day-long circles sometimes throughout the year so that folks can get more experience being in circles. And then for each individual case that we get, a peer leader is prepped pretty intensely by either myself or another staff member, and they help us think about what should the plan look like, what are the questions that we need to ask, and then by the time that circle happens, they're fully prepared to do all of the hosting. We have an adult present who participates, but the hosting is really done by the students themselves.
Supporting others and hosting circles is just an awesome experience. It's helped with my leadership skills, my communication skills, and also like creating bonds and relationships.
Another way that we develop leadership is through a youth participatory action research project that we do each year. Through YPAR, we learn to identify problems in our community, develop a deeper understanding of the problem, and then do something about it.
The YPAR projects have impacted me because they give me a different view on how things work in our school. And I just think it's important because if we don't make the change, who's going to do it? We need to get up, speak up, and make a change.
Through YPAR a few years ago, we focused on the in-house suspension room, which was called the student support room, but it wasn't really supportive. Now 3 years later, we have a very positive space with a full-time coordinator, several social work interns, and an AmeriCorps member. Now students get actual support when they go into the student support room.
Peer leaders can sign up to be basically an intern or a TA in the student support room. They provide one-on-one support to students, whether it's academic or emotional, and they also just help manage and run the space.
I love being a TA because it makes me feel important.
I love giving back to my community, like letting my peers know that they have a helping hand. That's something that I wish I had when I wasn't a teacher's assistant.
We also have other structures in place to develop our students as leaders.
The Youth Advisory Board is a rotating group of about 5 students who meet with me every week to make important decisions about the program and plan all of our larger meetings.
The Youth Advisory Board helped us create this Alumni Fellowship Program, which I think is a really beautiful model for keeping young people engaged even after graduation. I think it's a little bit disingenuous for us to say we're a family and we have you like for as long as you live if after they graduate we rip all the support away from students. So instead we've tried to build this leadership pipeline rather than a school to prison pipeline so that young people who do end up graduating or do end up leaving and having a life outside of high school can still stay engaged in the program. With young people, there's kind of this cascading mentorship model that happens where I'm able to give a lot of support to our fellows, and then the fellows are then able to give a lot of support. We're able to reach more students, actually, than we probably would have been able to reach beforehand. Hopefully one day, me and Luke can leave this program and it'll be in the hands of former peer leaders.
Being an alumni fellowship has given me a lot of great things, a lot of benefits, a lot of skills, especially life skills, communication skills. I also noticed the injustices that happen in the school community and Holyoke community, but instead of being a bystander, I now fight against them.
Even though we're based in a school, we know that it's also important to be connected to our larger community. This is why last year we started our Community Advisory Board. Our CAB provides both students and staff with support and guidance.
I like being part of CAB because we're all seen as equals. They don't see us as youth. We're just eye to eye. It feels good making these big decisions with people all over the community.
In Palante, we try to start building the world that we're dreaming of in the way that we are with each other. We do a lot of relationship building, whether it be through having breakfast together, field trips, or karaoke parties.
Palante provides pretty much a shoulder for a lot of the students and a lot of help to students. So also if students aren't on track with their grades, Palante could help them with their grades and get them back on track.
I think schools aren't always a place that honor who students are and what they know and where they come from and who their people are. And so one of the things is restorative justice, the way that we practice it, creates a real space to develop that appreciation.
After joining this program, I became responsible. I've stepped up my schoolwork. I would have never thought I would go into college.
They made sure that I kept on track of always having good grades, make sure I attended school. They were a listening ear if I couldn't go to someone in my family. They've brought me a lot of happiness. They've also made me more outgoing as a person, and also now I can see myself as a leader.
What we're doing here in Holyoke is built particularly for our own school and our own city. But we know that the work we're doing is part of a larger movement for educational justice. That means that we build relationships outside of just our school to learn, grow, and build to power together. We hope this video is one step in that direction. Sigue pa'lante.